Hello everyone. In this class, I am going to teach about debtors and creditors. First, we will see debtors. What does it mean? Debtors are persons or other entities. Debtors are persons or other entities who owe to an enterprise. Owe means obligation to pay or repay. Who owe to an enterprise an amount for buying goods and services on credit. Credit means payment will be made at the later date. Means the transactions in which goods or services are sold or purchased with the agreement that payment will be made at the later date. This is the meaning of credit. So debtors are persons or other entities who owe means obligation to pay to an enterprise an amount for buying goods and services on credit. In simple terms, debtor means a person or an organization, they have a liability or obligation to pay back a certain amount. Here, I will explain this debtors through one example. Okay, here for this is the example for debtors. Imagine you run a business and you are selling the goods on credit. Imagine here you run a business and you are selling goods on credit. You are run a business and you are selling the goods on credit. Okay, when you sell the items to a customer, to whom? To a customer who does not pay immediately. That customer, he will not pay the amount immediately. Means here you are selling the goods on credit to the customer. Okay, imagine you run a business and you are selling the goods on credit to the customers and who does not pay immediately. So at that time, the customer, he becomes a debtor. Here customer becomes a debtor. Means if they owe you rupees 1000, means you are selling the items to the customer for rupees 1000. 1000, they are required to pay that amount by a future date. Means for rupees they have to pay at a future date. Okay, this is the meaning of debtor. Here again I will explain this example. Here you are run a business and selling the goods on credit to a customer for rupees 1000. This customer, he does not pay the amount immediately because means you are selling the goods on credit. In this case, the customer becomes the debtor. In this case, the customer is the debtor. Means he has to pay the amount by a future date. Okay, this is the meaning of debtor. I hope this term is clear to you all. Next, we will move to the next term, that is creditors. Creditors are persons or other entities who have to be paid by an enterprise. Paid by an enterprise an amount for providing the enterprise goods and services on credit. This is the meaning of creditors. Creditors are the persons or other entities who have to be paid by an enterprise an amount for providing the enterprise goods and services on credit. This is the meaning of creditors. Again, I will explain this creditors through one example here. Creditors, example for creditors. Suppose you buy goods worth rupees 500 from a supplier on credit. Fine. You means we will take R. R, he buys goods for worth rupees 500 from a here supplier. Fine. From a supplier. R buys goods worth rupees 500 from a supplier on credit. Here this is important. On credit means payment will be made at a later date. Means R, he will make the payment at a later date. He will make the payment at the later date. R will be made the payment at the later date. Here R buys goods worth rupees 500 from a supplier on credit. In this case, who is the creditor? In this case, supplier is your creditor. Supplier is your creditor. Fine. Because your business owes them to rupees 500, which you will pay back at a later date. That is rupees 500 you will pay back at a later date. This is the meaning of creditor. I hope this point is also clear to you all. Debtor means who? Means here if you are run a business and you are selling the goods on credit for rupees 1000 to a customer, and the customer, they will not make the payment immediately. Means here you are selling the goods on credit to the customer. Here customer becomes the debtor. And creditor means, suppose we'll imagine R, he buys goods worth rupees 500 from a supplier on credit. In this case, supplier, he becomes the creditor. I hope these 2 points are clear to you all. Okay. In short, debtor means owes money to you. Okay. Owes money to you. And creditor means you owe money to them. You owe money to them. Okay, see here. See the example creditor. He R buys goods. Means R, he has to pay the amount to a supplier. Means you owe money to them. And debtor means owes money to you. Okay, fine. Now, one more I will explain this through one more example. Here, just imagine you run a small store. You run one small store and purchase goods worth rupees 1000 from a supplier on credit. Purchased goods. Rupees 1000 from a supplier. You run a small store and you purchase goods worth rupees 1000 from a supplier on credit. And you have 30 days to pay them back. And you have 30 days you have this store is there, no, they have 30 days to pay them back. In this scenario, store is the debtor or creditor? Store is the means you are the debtor. You are the debtor because you owe rupees 1000 to your supplier, and the supplier is the creditor. Supplier is the creditor because they are expecting to receive rupees 1000 from you. Okay. Here store, it is the debtor because you owe rupees 1000 to your supplier because you have purchased the goods rupees 1000 on credit from the supplier. Here the store becomes the debtor and supplier becomes the creditor, means the creditor, because they are expecting to receive rupees 1000 from you. Okay, so I hope these two terms are clear to you all, debtor and creditor. If any doubt, please leave a comment. Thank you.